Hello everyone, and welcome to the City of Puyallup's virtual community kickoff presentation for the Puyallup Housing Action Plan. Thank you for joining me. My name is Katie Baker, and I'm the Planning Manager here at the City of Puyallup. In this video, I'll introduce our project to develop a housing action plan. This includes learning more about housing action plans in general and about the process in Puyallup. A housing action plan is a set of concrete steps to increase housing supply and diversity and meet local housing needs. The final product will be an actionable policy document that outlines specific strategies to meet Puyallup's housing needs. It will be based on data and analysis, which will be complemented by an inclusive and robust public process. It's worth noting that the final housing action plan is focused on strategies, and it won't include implementation tactics. Those will be developed following the completion of the plan. This plan is funded by a grant from the Washington State Department of Commerce. To meet grant requirements, the final housing action plan must be complete by mid-2021. Here in Puyallup, we have 4 specific questions that are guiding the creation of our housing action plan. How much additional housing will be necessary to meet the diverse needs of Puyallup's current and future households? How effective are the city's current policies at ensuring adequate housing options? How can the city, residents, and businesses work together to improve Puyallup's housing options? And what are Puyallup residents' preferred strategies for increasing affordable housing? All 4 of these questions are helping us to create a balanced and comprehensive roadmap to implement effective and feasible housing strategies tailored to the Puyallup community. Here is the overall schedule for creating Puyallup's housing action plan. The red square shows where we're at in the process right now. As I mentioned in the introduction, the first step in creating a housing action plan is to develop a housing needs assessment, shown on the far left in green. We'll review the needs assessment in the second half of today's presentation. Now that we've developed a first draft of the housing needs assessment, we're working to understand the city's current housing policies and regulations, and to identify actions the city can take to better meet the housing needs identified. These steps are shown here in turquoise and navy blue. Based on all these pieces, we'll create a draft housing action plan by late winter or early spring of 2021, shown here in gray. We'll have a community meeting to share the draft. Then, based on community input, we'll modify the plan before we finalize it. Finally, shown in orange, City Council will review the final housing action plan and hopefully vote to adopt the plan in mid-2021. The housing action plan will not exist in a vacuum. Puyallup has already worked to improve housing in the city through prior plans and efforts. The final housing action plan will complement these plans and build on their foundations. You can check out all these plans on the city's website at cityofpuyallup.org. If you'd like to learn more about the Housing Action Plan, check out our other short videos on our project webpage at cityofpuyallup.org/housing action plan. We would love for you to share your thoughts and stay involved in the Housing Action Plan process, and we have a few ways for you to do that. Through the remainder of 2020, we have an online survey and online ideas wall for you to share your ideas with us. We hope you'll reflect on the findings I shared in this presentation and consider questions like, do the housing needs assessment findings reflect your experience and knowledge of Puyallup? What's missing from the story the needs assessment tells? Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to receiving your comments.